Oh, I like that. Yeah, is the market? What's okay? It's Paul. Paul, we're gonna answer your question. Paul wants to know: is GME stock going up on Monday? We'll ask that. That's a good one to ask the 8 ball, right? No amount of analysis we do is gonna help with that shit. Holy shit!
All right, I'm ready. Whenever you guys are.
Cool shit. All right. All right. Let's fucking go. All right. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Thanks everyone for checking out the show. I'm Sean Fitzzzy.
I'm Paulie.
And I'm Ultimator.
And this is the Echo Chamber. GME is on a hot streak. 3 weeks straight and 10 of the last 12 days are green. That's after 3 long months of sideways action. It's a beautiful thing to see. How's it going, guys?
Fantastic.
Pretty good.
Yeah. I'm doing good too. I just got back from a nice trip to LA with my family.
Nice.
Yeah, I did some
Much
light
needed
protest.
vacation.
Yeah, I did some light protesting in front of Jimmy Kimmel's theater. Seemed like it worked. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just fucking around. We were down there though. We went to the Hollywood Boulevard and went and looked at the stars and saw the Chinese theater and all that stuff. And there was protests going on. So
nice.
Interesting time to go to LA, but I had a lot of fun. My daughter is running cross country now, so we went down there for that meet. Proud of her. I'm a proud father. That was pretty cool to see. So
she's running and no one's chasing her. That's good for her.
Yeah, for sure. And then
I used to do that.
It's crazy to me. I don't understand. Right, I swam, but I don't understand.
Yeah, I was gonna say you were an athlete.
yeah, but if she's outside, it's hot. That doesn't.
You just swam back and forth.
Yeah, I know. I played water polo. That's where they asked me if the horses, how did they not drown, right?
Right.
It's a water polo joke. Ultimator, we'll kind of talk to you a little bit more, but I just wanted to say hi. Glad you're here. How you doing, dude?
I'm pretty good. Late night for me, but yeah, it's good to be here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Yeah, thanks.
Welcome to the show for sure. It's a long time coming. I've known
for sure.
I'm in a group with you on Reddit that I don't go to very much, but I've been following you for a while. So we'll kind of hear how you started in just a second, but I wanted to see how Paulie's been real quick. How's your week been, Paulie?
It's been all right. I'm a little under the weather today, so I apologize if my voice is a little froggy, but I feel mostly okay. Just a little stuffy, back and forth between a stuffy nose and a runny nose, but hopefully this will pass quickly. But no, it's been a pretty good week overall. Let's see. Yesterday I spent the day going through some Pokemon cards with a coworker of mine. He's actually in the echo chamber with us, Jeffrey. He's a listener of the show, and
what's up, Jeffrey?
He's got some real banger cards. So we were kind of picking some things out that he should likely grade. So and I know Ultimator has got some cards that he also just kind of pulled out. So
yeah, just a couple.
Yeah. But yeah, like he had a lot of the same cards that you did as well. So especially some of the first edition ones. So really neat. And I've been going through some of my childhood collection, and I think it was like a lot of us who are probably in like that approximate same age demographic are maybe going through a little bit of a revival right now, where we are reconnecting with our childhood through Pokemon and collectibles in general, whether it's the Pokemon or the baseball cards or basketball cards, football cards, like whatever the case may be. Like, I think collectibles are really just like a nice window to your past and nostalgia in general. And I think Aaron really hit on this well when he was on our show last. Just the fact that even if you don't have time to play video games as much as you did when you were younger, because a lot of us were gamers at one point. Some of us a lot more than others. Like I used to spend a whole lot of time playing video games. even if you don't have that kind of time anymore, like this is a really effective way to connect with your past and to sort of channel that energy, and you can derive some value from it. Like these things have liquid market value in a lot of cases, and that's kind of an exciting way to tap into the hobby as well. So
Yeah, I was looking
yeah.
at the power packs. Just someone pulled the felt hat Pikachu, and they
Yeah.
were talking about how the pricing, I forget who it was right now, but they were talking about how the pricing has like doubled just in the last 2 to 3 months. So you're talking about you can derive some value from them too. Yeah, looks like that market is hot.
Yes, I was looking at some of the cards in my own vault today, vault/sold today, because I pulled a Tom Brady card from 2002. It's his second year in the NFL, and I pulled a PSA 8 from a starter pack, and it was 174.1% value increase on that card from what I spent on it, which I only remember that number because of the 741 in it. And I had also pulled that card in a PSA 9 from my first live stream, and it was Johnny from Nebula Trades who had pulled that card, and he decided to sell it actually for a slight loss for about $81.
Huh.
And because the card value on that one was $90 at the time. But then on his next pull, he pulled a Leafeon EX worth $465 at the time from a gold pack. So he spent $100, sold a card for $81 minus the 6% fee. Then he spent another $100 and pulled a card worth $465. And he's still holding that Sylveon EX in my collection on his behalf.
Oh yeah,
and that card is up 48% since then. So and that was on August 1st. So it's been 7 weeks since then, and his card's up 48% in value. So
let's go.
yeah,
Ultimator,
yeah,
are you
it's pretty awesome.
are you in power packs yet, Ultimator?
No, I haven't done it.
No.
Honestly, the first time I started looking at cards in 20 years was 3 days ago.
Yes. So what you found a binder? Is that what it was?
Yeah, I mean, I had the binder the whole time. I just forgot I had it. It was in a cardboard box in my basement
Oh wow.
from when I was in 4th grade.
Have you started trying to do
Nice.
any of the pricing or anything on it yet?
I did,
You
and
get some bangers?
I put all the cards in sleeves yesterday. I got 20 of them that look like they'll have good return on value.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm trying to straighten out my Charizard because it's a bit warped from
Yeah.
being in a binder for 25 years or whatever it
Yeah.
was.
Did you like educate yourself on like the difference between the shadowless cards and everything like that?
So my understanding now is that Shadowless was its own series after first edition.
Yeah,
Am
yeah.
I
So like
correct?
there was first edition, and then
Yeah.
there was shadowless, and then there was unlimited. There was also a 1999 to 2000 set, which was
Mm-hmm.
like kind of the last printing of that one before they went on to the base set 2.
Mm.
But the base set 2 ones are actually stamped with that number 2 on them.
Right.
And so like I actually have, let's see here. Yeah, so like since I have my camera on, you can actually tell. So like I'm holding up 2 cards right here. These
Mm-hmm.
are identical cards at first glance, but on the trainer cards it's harder to tell because the shadow doesn't really appear on either card. But the shadowless cards, all of the shadowless cards, have 4 copyright dates in the bottom left-hand corner before Nintendo. And so it'll say 1995, 96, 98, 99. So this trainer card is a shadowless card. And actually, I was
I
holding up.
like show and tell
Yeah.
with Polly.
Yeah, I was actually I was actually holding up 2 shadowless cards there, so that those were actually identical cards. These are identical at first glance, but different. So in this hand is a shadowless card, and this one is normal. So
Okay, because I was looking on the right hand side of the character.
Yeah,
where the
yeah,
little
yeah,
splashes.
yeah, exactly. And that is the easiest place to look when you're looking at one of the like actual Pokemon. But when you get to the trainer cards, like that was when I was looking at my own cards. I was like, wait, do I even have any shadowless cards? And so then I had to like do some Googling, and I was like, how do I know if I have a shadowless trainer? Because I was looking at like set lists, and I saw that some were listed as shadowless, and I was looking at pictures of them, and I was like, these are the same card. Like how do people know? But then I finally found an explanation where someone was like, no, you got to look at the copyright dates. And I was like, oh, and on some of them, it's like that is literally the only difference, and on some of them, it's like enough of a difference where like the wording has been adjusted, where like some words appear on the top line, and like the wrapping of the word is different. So like sometimes the shadowless card is different enough that you can actually tell without having to look at the copyright date. But now that I know that, it's actually even easier to tell a shadowless card from an unlimited card. So,
Shadowless sounds way cooler than what it actually means. I
Right,
was
yeah.
expecting something else, but it's literally just doesn't have a shadow on the words, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. So like this Pikachu right here is a normal Pikachu because it's got like a shadow around that frame.
Yeah.
For the character.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fancy.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So that's kind of how that works.
Thank you. That's fun.
Yeah. So if in case you didn't know that, now you know exactly what to look for on whether or not you have any shadowless cards, because most of the time shadowless cards are going to be more valuable than their non-shadowless counterparts. So it's not necessarily not necessarily always the case, but that is generally the rule of thumb.
Nice. Yeah. I still only have my one Malik Neighbors card. I need to do some power packing or something, but it's sitting in. I think it's in my vault actually now, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Oh, did you get it transferred to you? Nice.
Yeah, I got it transferred to me, so I just yeah. I should have done my first power pack pull last week with Aaron. That would have been. We were talking about it too. We just didn't do it, so whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, and then on Saturday too, I also did a late night stream, of talking about how Saturday was the 10-year anniversary of a kind of a life-changing thing for me, and I wasn't really sure how I wanted to share that story, and long story short, I was going through a rough patch in my life back in 2015, and I decided to take some advice and start looking outward and start just doing things for other people. And so it all started with an ice cream sundae, and that led to almost 2 straight years worth of doing something every day. And those were called random yaks of kindness because there was an app called Yik Yak.
Yeah, I looked into that part. I saw some of that stuff. That's pretty cool app.
Right, yeah. And so I was like, what better way to sort of resurrect this than through what GameStop and PSA have given us through power packs, and to just do what we call random packs of kindness. So, I've been given the fortunate circumstance of having a good platform where I can reach a decent amount of people through the GameStop community, and I think that through that community we can do some good. So I had Bad Robot on, as well as Just KJ. For those who may recognize that name, he's on X. He's been with the like Diamond Hands Power Pack Club community on X and Discord.
He had a tweet the other day. I can't remember what it was, but I saw it. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So it's like I had both of them on as speakers at some point to just sort of kind of talk through that whole experience. But yeah, like it's not like a fully baked idea at this point, but like that all had like fizzled out at one point, mostly just because Yik Yak, like as an app, died. Like they got acqui-hired and went away. But now, like we've got this medium in Power Packs that has kind of come into our lives, and there's such a natural connection to philanthropy there. So, I want to pick up the torch and continue doing what I was doing in some way, but I want to get the community involved and see what we can do to maybe have a deeper impact, because what I was doing was really just like local and community based before, but I think that we've got really just such a fantastic community here, and we can do a lot of good with that. So like we've talked about doing things like fundraisers for pulling power packs for like kids at a children's hospital or something like that, like for Christmas, and then having PSA literally ship all of those cards to the children's hospital so that the kids can open them for Christmas or something like that. So like I think that would be like a really cool
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
Philanthropic event to organize through something like this. So
yeah,
so yeah, stay tuned for more updates on that. But maybe we'll possibly get the audio from that out onto the feed so that we can share that story, and also to solicit ideas from people on how to manage that and to work out the mechanics of it, because I think that's probably the most challenging piece of it. Because I think that there are certainly people who are willing to participate and be a part of that and to make it work, but it's not going to be too meaningful if we're just giving away power packs to like the same 12 people over and over again. So, so like it needs to carry meaning and have like a good impact, and I think that we can do some good things.
Awesome, yeah, and I know Just KJ now. I found what I remembered him. He suggested that Larry come on our show. So
yeah. He had his live stream on, I think it was Friday.
Yeah,
and it was either Thursday or Friday, and there was a lot of really good things in there. I think Swami, KJ, and I all got mentions on there.
Yeah, I mean, and he was asking.
There may have been some other folks in our circle who got mentioned there as well. Aaron did not get thrown under the bus on that stream. So
okay,
yeah.
I was hoping he would have.
He kind of got away with one there. So
yeah, he said he's willing to come on a podcast. So I heard him say that. I heard you say that, LC.
Yeah. He said he wants to come on more podcasts. So I wonder if there's a podcast that would be appropriate for him to come on. Yeah.
I mean, I think it was him basically asking for us to ask him. Like that's
I'm pretty sure that was it. Yeah. So I mean, I have no shame. So Larry Chang, would you be our guest?
Please.
Please.
Yeah. No, that would be great. That'd be cool. Okay. Good deal. Thank you. So, we'll kind of go on and say hello to the Ultimator. So, we were talking a little bit earlier. Ultimator's been around for a while, and he'll kind of tell you how he found GameStop and everything. But I was just impressed that he's one of the only people that has managed to do Reddit and Twitter successfully. I think he started there. But that's where I found you, Ultimator, was on Twitter, or I'm sorry, on Reddit, and then you started doing more and more. Yeah, I found you on Reddit.
Yeah, I think that's probably where I first saw you as well, because I first sort of learned about GameStop through Reddit as well, and then it eventually bled over into Twitter. But I didn't really comment a lot on Reddit necessarily, but I did a lot of reading on Reddit.
Yeah, and you're one of the only people that are one of the only DD guys that I think still are over there. So, anyways, why don't you introduce yourself to everyone? Let us know how you found GameStop and all that good stuff.
Sure. So back in 2020, I had never traded before. I think November 2020 was the first trade I ever took. It was in Neo. And I saw every day on Webull, I would see GameStop up 20, 30%. And I was like, and I saw all the media around it was like, GameStop is going to lose value. GameStop is going bankrupt. GameStop back to $20. And that was really what triggered me to get invested in GameStop was when I saw Citron Research do a live stream, and thousands of people were mocking him, and they sent hundreds of pizzas to his house. They shut down his stream. He didn't he didn't even know how to respond to it, and GameStop went up like 50% during that stream.
That's amazing.
And that next morning, I bought my first shares of GameStop, and ever since then, I've been hooked. January 27th, 28th, I was telling all my friends to buy GameStop, right at the top, just like everyone else.
Yeah.
I was the asshole who sold right at the top, just, but I ended up buying back.
Right.
And I didn't realize before that how the market worked. I thought it was just some free market where, if you bought shares, the price goes up. If you sell shares, the price goes down. If a company is worth value, it goes up in value because people want it. And when they turned off the buy button, I really stepped back and looked at the bigger picture, and it just changed my viewpoint pretty much on the whole world.
Yeah.
So it kind of became a hobby for me to research the market and to understand how it all works. And it's not really just about making money. It's just about trying to understand the system, trying to help retail investors have the edge in a system that's kind of stacked against them.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I got invested initially.
Yeah, I remember being incredibly naive before I got into GameStop about like how everything works too. I feel like that's pretty important. And it's still like I am constantly like impressed at how fucked up they can get when it comes to how they do this shit in the market. Like if I try to explain to some people how it actually works if you buy a share, just like say in Robinhood, we sound like we're lunatics. But it's actually how it works. You don't actually get that share. They're just doing an IOU, all that,
Right?
All that bullshit. But it's like that to the 10th degree, it seems, when you actually start digging in and finding out that like all the different levels of fuckery there is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really bad. Yeah. If I buy a share, I cannot buy from another retail. I have to buy through one of 5 institutions that sells me that share. So if me and my buddy, if he tries to sell me a share and I try to buy that share, I can't do it. I have to wait for an institution to take the middle.
Huh.
Right.
Every time.
Yeah. So, all right. So that's
sorry for
no. I'm trying to
on that
no. Like that shit. So I'm trying to figure out like you say stuff in the Discord all the time, and it's like very enlightening to me too. So I was trying to understand where you were going with that, but I'm not sure I quite can.
Essentially, there is no free market.
Right. So retail is flagged as retail and gets treated differently.
Mm-hmm.
They say it's for our best interest because it helps us with risk. It won't let us take big risks. But in the end, it helps institutions not take the risks because they can always decide whether or not to make the trade ahead of time.
Yeah, because they're the ones who decide what systemic risk is.
Right.
Yeah, it's all fucked up.
Yep.
Yeah. And we
Ryan Cohen is in the room with us.
I know, right? Yeah, and then you start thinking about like how we almost don't have any control over like the price action on GameStop, or honestly, I think the only control we seem to have is the option flow. The more calls that retail maybe seems to be able to buy, that's when we start being able to see GameStop get away from itself.
Yeah. So with options, cut in.
Go for it.
So options, we buy the options, but institutions make the trades on the hedging. That's why it fucks them.
Right.
So the more options we buy, their algorithms, buy the shares, sell the shares, or whatever. And so that actually is institutional trading that we're, introducing into the system.
Yeah. So that's the only way.
Yeah, us buying won't do anything. Us buying options will secondhand.
Yeah, and that's where I get into my battle against covered.
Bloody wanker.
And that, but you get the opposite effect too. And you see people. Yeah, so it's a sore subject for me. I blame 2023 on
Bloody wanker.
it's pretty much the
What,
worst.
you get burned?
No, not me. No, I just feel like that like there was just such an abundance of people selling calls at that time. It kind of like kept us. I've never sold a cover call. I won't do that on GameStop. I know that's smart money, right? Like everyone says that, that's what smart money is supposed to do. But I don't like the negative hedge. It seems to be one of the only ways that retail can hurt the price of GameStop. So I've fought a not so private battle against it for quite a while now. So I like how you were so interested in like what moves the price. One of the first things that I saw from you was the Computershare thing. Probably not the first thing, but you were one of the first ones to notice that Computershare was buying at a certain time. What's going on with that?
So when you buy through Computershare, your funds have to settle ahead of time, and then they send it to their broker. The broker buys the shares. It's a 3-day lag, and their broker buys the shares at the same time pretty much every time. So when you know what time it is, and if there's enough people buying shares through the same process, you can actually impact the price of the stock.
Yeah.
So
there was a front run it.
Right. There was a time period where so many people were buying, doing these recurring buys, that the amount of share and the volume was so low for GameStop, the amount of shares getting purchased was actually impacting the price of the stock, which is actually impacting the options chains.
Yeah, you could play that a little bit, right? Like I remember.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say I did or didn't, but
But it did.
Recently the recurring buys have diminished to a point, and the bond hedging has kind of taken over, so they don't really do anything anymore unless a lot more people decide to do these recurring buys. But they used to like measurably impact the price of the stock and the chains. So my thought was, if people understand this process, it gives retail an even footing with institutions pretty much for the first time, where retail kind of knows what's going to happen the same way the institutions do, and they can make trades the way they want to.
Yeah, it worked too for a couple weeks there.
And then they
figured it out. It's kind of like with everything. But then I think you were saying, but like they're using it to get a higher. They give retail a worse fill kind of thing, right? Isn't that what was going on as well?
Yeah, I wouldn't. It's not even a worse fill. They would screw around with the options chains ahead of time. You'd see thousands of calls come in or puts come in minutes before it happens, and sometimes even these blocks would show up on media websites, like unusual options noted for GameStop today. Yeah.
All right. Well, cool. I'm glad you're part of the community. I say this with everyone, but I think everyone kind of contributes some awesome stuff, and you've been contributing some really fucking cool shit from the start. So, and you keep doing it. So, like, you got indicators out now, right? Like, how many indicators do you have out right now?
I have no idea, like 30 or something.
Oh shit!
So I started on Reddit. And whenever I saw something cool happen during the day, I'd go to either TradingView or Yahoo, the prices or whatever, and load the data into Excel and manipulate it that way. And it was really tedious.
Yeah.
And it wasted an hour or two. And I finally realized that I could do that through an indicator and pretty much code in whatever I wanted to. So if I saw a correlation between something, I'd be able to code it in to watch it live rather than go that night. that kind of stemmed from there. And now if I want to see something particular, I just code it in, release the indicator, and let everyone do it all at once.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking cool. And so how does the bottom finder work then? That's my favorite one. I see. I like the names you give them too,
I
like
know.
the different stuff. But
I picked the name to be kind of flashy, something that people can remember.
yeah, it's a good one.
Lady Gobble.
Yeah. So what does that measure? How does the bottom finder work?
So I guess in 2024, so last year I made a few calls where I would buy a stock maybe the day before the price like spiked up 30%. And a lot of people were like, "How did you do that? What did you see?" So I decided to put what I was watching on the chart into an indicator. So it was mostly that I was watching the interest rate flips because GameStop. My assumption is that GameStop is heavily involved in swaps, and swaps are controlled. The prices are controlled by interest rates. So if I see a flip in it, that was really a trigger for me that something was about to happen in GameStop. Or if GameStop goes down and the interest rates go the opposite way, something's about to happen. So I decided to make that into a code and I released it as a bottom finder.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty popular too. What is
Yeah.
that? Is that your most popular one? Do you get like information on that, like when it comes to downloads, or how does? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I can see how many people download it.
Yeah,
I don't really get any other information. I don't know how many people are actually using it.
yeah. It's
Nice.
kind of like the show too. We get downloads, but that's about it. So yeah, that's a reminder. Download the episode if you guys can. That way we can get some good feedback on who's listening to the show and everything like that. So, okay, all right. I think we can probably move on to the week that was. Just wanted to kind of say what's up to Ultimator. Make sure everyone got a meet him. I feel like most people know you at this point. But
Maybe.
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, if they don't, then you should be following him. He's the Ultimator 5 on X, and
Yeah,
and
he's a
you've
cyborg.
you've probably at least heard his song on our show.
Oh, yeah.
It's made an appearance a few times, so pretty sure we're going to be using that on this episode.
Yeah, it's good.
Do you have any more coming out on an album, Ultimator?
No, I only did that one.
No, just a one hit
Honestly,
wonder
I did that
so far.
one. So a few years ago, I tried to make the what was it called, 99 Red Balloons kind of remix as GameStop. And
Yeah.
I started with the words for that, and then it just kind of morphed into this. Once I was able to get it on audio.
Nice.
But you but you didn't make like play the instruments, right? Like that's
No.
okay.
No.
I was
No,
like,
I did the lyrics.
okay. Oh, that's impressive as well. I was gonna say if you're doing the instruments there, that's
No.
very impressive. That was our intro or our outro, I think, for the very first couple episodes. So
Yeah, I remember that.
yeah, you helped us bridge the gap there till I was trying to figure out what the fuck I was doing with some of this
I
shit.
still listen to that song to get hype.
It is good. I don't know how much of it you did, but I like the way that it starts out in one of the like the left ear or the right ear or some shit like that. And yeah, you did some really cool stuff with I think it's the guitar in there too. It's,
I used it as a layover
used
for a
Suno.
Power Packs hype video. It was great.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Suno. It's kind of an AI music generating thing.
No, I've not.
So it can randomize songs for you, or you can basically put in your own lyrics and tell it how you want it to make a song. So that's what I did.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty
Nice.
awesome.
Like
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, you did a fantastic job with it.
Yeah, thanks.
It does get me hyped. Okay, let's see. All right, so we are going to move on into the week. I think we can probably talk about warrants a little bit. Here, give me a 2-minute break while we're here, okay, guys?
All right, this one looks good. You know what? I gotta use the restroom super quick. You know what I just realized is that I don't have a. What I should have is like a like a quick video or something to put on. What I should do is I could mix all the. I mean, you probably seen the damn Roaring Kitty videos. A bunch I play them out at the beginning and the outro and stuff. But I should at least put those videos together to play, as like a break or something. Anyway, I thought about it. I should have. I haven't done OBS in like a couple of months. I've been focusing on like some videos and the templates and stuff. But I could probably add some more stuff to OBS on that front. I'll give that some thought. Anyway, I'll be right back. I'll be right back in like 2 minutes. You know what I can do is I can do the countdown again, and then we'll go to the opening. I apologize. I know I played it at the beginning, but I guess that's all I got right here, just so you got something to watch. I'll be right back. Give me 2 minutes. Okay, 1 sec. I could envision it going. Just a lot of people are really excited about it, really passionate about it. To be clear, that is not complete analysis, right? I talk about there's fundamental analysis, there's technical analysis, and then there's like this psychological sentiment type thing that's really hard to pin down, and you can't. There's no real metric for it either. It's just like a feel, like you're reading a lot. It's like a vibe check. You know what I mean? Like what's the sentiment out there, and how do people feel about this? And you see what y'all know what I mean, right? You see with Tesla, you see with Bitcoin. And even though it doesn't make any sense to me, right? I don't know shit. I mean, I know about Bitcoin, right? But good luck to me, Valiant. What the hell? I've seen people attempt to, you know what I mean? That is not my style of valuation or analysis. Good props to you for giving it a shot, but that's not my style. I won't even attempt to really try to understand it because it's so out of my league. Talk about circle of competence.
All right, we're back. So we're gonna get into the week that was. Like news-wise, I don't think we had really a whole lot. Lots of conversations going on about warrants, so we can kind of talk about that, I guess, as we go. It is 9:15 on the East Coast on Monday night. Yeah, Monday night. Yeah, we had a good start to the week. So the last time we were here with you guys was I think Monday night. I don't know. I'm losing my timing because we didn't do it this weekend like we normally do, but so we had all last weekend. It was it's just been pretty much straight up since a couple days before earnings, but definitely since earnings and the warrant announcement. So it's been pretty good. Today we did 11.26 million in volume, up 2.68%. We closed at 2678. Interesting. I was talking to Paulie about it. We got some weird, not thump, not at least the technical version of thump that we have known it to be, which is one share at the very beginning of overnight. But it was definitely above. It was like 3,000 shares, and it got open at 2678. Dog scratching over here. It opened at 2678, and amazingly, that's exactly where we closed. So overnight opened up at that last night. And then we closed at that today. So ups.
Yeah, and I think when I looked at overnight trading last night and I checked the opening trade because I saw that price action and I went back and looked at time to sales, I think it was something on the order of like 876 shares on the opening trade, something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was highly unusual for sure, but it did not meet our traditional definition of a thump, but it was noteworthy for sure.
Oh yeah, and today started out gangbusters. Yeah. I think we got up to almost 5% up. I made good money on calls. I was playing some weeklies. Fucking made some profit. So last week was pretty good too. We'll see how this week goes, but it's starting to feel like they're looking pretty similar. Which is Monday last week started out good as well. We closed 2.57% up for the day, off 9.6 million in volume. Tuesday last week, 0.92% up off 9.8 million in volume. 7.8 million on Wednesday. I think that was FOMC was Wednesday last week, right? Yeah. FOMC. GameStop did not have the similar reaction. We topped. It was OPEX week, by the way, last week, and that is, I fucking hate GameStop during I take that back. Sorry, GameStop. I don't hate you. I hate trying to trade options for GameStop during OPEX week. The second half of the week kind of confirmed that for me, which was, they can't let us get too far above max pain. It seems we did close above it.
Yeah, not without the volume.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You can get up there, but it's gonna have to be with some serious volume. So, we closed the week out 0.84 down on Thursday off 7.8 million, and then up Friday, closed 9.5 million. What do we close? We closed the week out at 2608. So, overall last week 44.7 million in volume. That was our third green week in a row. So that's pretty fucking nice. Up 4.61% last week. See, since earnings, I just got a little I like percent ups, like green days in a row. We're up 13.52% up since earnings. Yeah, and our high. So yeah, just like looking at the chart, I put a post out earlier. There's fucking gaps everywhere. We created one last week on Monday morning, 24.99 to 24.95. We have one from the 10th. That would be what? That was earnings. There's a gap at earnings at 23.59. We got a couple below us, but we're smack in the middle of the bond offering gap that we had from June. So, that fills at 28.42. I got a smaller little gap from the start of the Bitcoin run in May at 28.04. I think we're probably gonna keep going until we get to this warrant. I guess October 2nd is the warrant date. I think we're gonna keep plowing through. There's a gap at 29.41 that runs to 30.16. I could see all of that fill in a systematic kind of like a method over the next 2 weeks or so, and then we'll probably get that sell off, sell the news kind of event. But that's where I think things might really start picking up when it comes to borrow rate. I saw a post about that from another company earlier today. So yeah, I'm loving how the chart looks. It's just fucking up all the time again. I knock on wood. But I mean, we just dealt with 3 months of just pure boredom. So yeah, it's exciting to see. It's happening with decent volume. I think it's going to keep going. We got lots of questions, I think, about what could happen after the second, what RC could do when it comes to the warrants. We can probably get back to that in a little bit. But yeah, Paulie, how's the chart? You got anything for the chart? How's it looking for you?
Looks really good, honestly. I don't have a ton, I think, to add to what you've already shared, but I will say that the things that I am mostly watching on my chart are fib channels. So rather than a trend based fib extension or a fib retracement, which most people may be familiar with, I have been using fib channels, which is basically just a time based support and resistance measurement. So you can kind of place these at significant highs and lows pretty much anywhere on your chart, as long as it is a meaningful high and low pairing. And the amazing thing about it, from my perspective, is that these will generally explain price action both for the period that you use it on, as well as in the past and in the future. So if you choose your points correctly, you can choose a point in the middle of the chart, and you can go back years before that, and your lines are explaining resistance and support, and then you can go years in the future from that as well, and they're still explaining resistance and support. So I've been doing a lot of that. So I've posted a few charts in Discord and on X, and I know people chuckle when they see all the different colored lines and everything, but that's really just a fib channel. And the fib channel starts out at gray on the bottom, and it moves up in a rainbow type color, just like a regular fib extension does. So you got all these different colored lines on there. So people are like, man, you draw a lot of crayons on your chart.
Yeah, it looks like
really, that's
lot.
just that's actually just one tool. I have a handful of things that I've drawn, and I may have multiple fib channels on the chart at the same time, along with maybe a couple of other trend lines or some VWAPs and stuff. But like when you're the person who put them there and you know what they're for, like it's not as crazy as it looks. So
Yeah, facts,
yeah. But anyway, like I say all that to just really just lay out the fact that right now GameStop is getting back to and is above the zero line from the fib channel from its all-time low in 2020 to the significant low from 2024. And that's a good fib channel to get back into. And the neat thing about fib channels too is that like you can exit a fib channel and get back into it without like invalidating it. Like with fib extensions and everything, like if you go below like your zero line, that normally would like invalidate the structure of a fib extension, but that's not really the case with fib channels. Like it just means that you're kind of in a different part of the map, if you will. So the fib channel is still valid. You're just kind of in uncharted territory. So from about late July until right about now, GameStop has been trading below that deep value trend line, which serves as the zero line on that fib channel. And so now we're kind of getting back into that now. And so that's a good spot to be in, because that's a significant resistance. So we're going to need some volume to get above it. But we also had that pop this morning, which we were right on that line. It also depends on whether you're looking at it from like a trading hours or extended hours point of view. But it was a strong bounce essentially off of that line this morning, and we had decent volume today. So as I've been looking at my chart and just like looking at these lines that have been on there for now weeks, that I haven't moved, and seeing price bounce off of them in both directions, that tells me that I'm on the right track. And so as we move higher and further to the right, I'm going to keep a closer eye on this and see where the resistance levels are. But if you don't understand your fib pairs, then it would be a good thing to learn, especially if you're trading. Now, if you're just buying and holding, like just hey, hold on and enjoy the ride. But if you're trying to trade things, then you should really try to understand fib pairs, because that is all about support and resistance. And if you want to buy low and sell high and get a better re-entry from selling high, then that is how you do it.
My first introduction to fibs was Gherkin It, and he hates fibs. He called him. I don't. Did you ever? Did you ever follow Gherkin It Ultimator?
I did not.
No. I used to watch his stream all the time. I love the fucking live stream.
Well, I had someone a few weeks ago tell me that fibs are nonsense, and that everything in the price action has to do with SMA outfits instead. And while
I've seen that too.
Yeah, while I will agree that moving averages, both simple and exponential, are important and have a lot to do with the setup and establishment and movement of support and resistance in general, those are lagging indicators. They tell you where support and resistance have been, and they can tell you about where price will bounce if it meets those lines, but it also will push through those lines with enough volume. So subscribing to any one indicator without context is a really dangerous trading philosophy. And so
I disagree.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, you can subscribe to any of my indicators.
I thought
I was waiting for that. Well, but what my caveat on that though was that subscribing to any one indicator without context. So like, if you don't have any context on it and you don't understand what's going on around you, or like if you're only looking at the moving average and you're ignoring volume, like I think that is a dangerous trading philosophy. If you're only looking at the movement of price and you don't care about volume, that's a great way to get burned, because volume really dictates everything. And I personally have gotten burned plenty of times because I was looking at the price and not looking at the volume and not realizing that the volume was dried up so much that we were just going to get, slowly and painfully just squeezed right back to the point of maximum gamma exposure for the week, which normally will also be what most people recognize as max pain. But as Ultimator and I both will, I think, preach, max pain is a deeply flawed metric,
Right.
and people use it because it's convenient, but it only works when you don't have like a skew or a like a bimodal distribution in your options chain. And so like sometimes it happens to line up with the peak gamma exposure, but when it doesn't, like you're not going to end up at max pain because you're going to end up at the peak gamma exposure. Because the gamma exposure is what drives the options market, and that's really what the market makers care about. Like they don't care about your max pain. Max pain is just a convenient explanation for it, but it's flawed.
Yeah, it's for people on Twitter to bitch. That's what that's what it's for.
No
Now.
one actually wants to do the calculations. I mean, it's an
Mm-hmm.
easy visual. Yeah.
Yeah. And so like, I can sympathize like with the idea that it's like, well, it's easier to just say max pain. But if you're subscribing to the idea that max pain is what's actually governing the price action, then then that's where there's a problem. But if you're only using it as an illustration of what's going on and you actually understand what's going on, then it's like, okay, fine. Like at least that it's only a tool to quickly use as a substitute for what's actually happening. But yeah, like I'm not a fan of max pain, and I know Ultimator's not either.
It's usually right.
Yeah, and that's just because there's usually not a skew in the options chain.
Right.
Like you usually wind up with peak gamma exposure at the same point as the same price as max pain.
Right.
That's why
like last week.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I'm not a fan because it is usually right.
That's fair.
Like it kind of takes the fun out of it. But we finished over max pain last week, right? Like it was a good amount.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why we saw what we saw today. I don't know with settlement and all that stuff because it is OPEC settlement too. But we had a very nice start to the day after we finished a whole week over max pain. So
yeah, I guess I should probably also mention one other thing that we've just bounced off on the chart is the VWAP, the volume weighted average price from a year ago. So Fitzzzy and I actually kind of originally bonded over looking at dark pool trades in general, like the 5K blocks and looking at that trade from last September 20th, and it's 4,670,078 shares at 10:20 a.m. on September 20th. That was the quad witching Friday OPEX last year, and the anchored VWAP from that morning's low, we busted through it last week on Tuesday, came back and retested it through Wednesday, kind of rode on that line, kind of dipped through it for like liquidity sweeps 3 times, kind of depending on which candle you use, but about 3 or 4 times on Wednesday, and then came back and bounced off of it again on Friday, and that was Friday morning, basically on the open, and we've been above it ever since. And so, like, I have been tracking the VWAP since the low of the day on September 20th, as well as the low of the day on September 23rd, which was the Monday after that. So, you know, like, you've got your explosive move upward off of that huge volume. Like, we had over 60 million shares traded that day.
Yeah,
Like that 4.6 million share order, like that would have been almost half of the volume that we saw just today if that kind of thing had happened. But
it also had that massive imbalance candle. Like, you know, we always get them right after close. But that
was like over 2 million shares. Yeah, that was probably like ETF rebalancing, most likely.
That day was crazy.
Yeah, which by the way, like the whole concept of like ETF rebalancing and how all of that happens like pretty much instantly, because like we all saw those candles like right as the market closed on Friday, right? If all of that can happen as quickly as it does, and we know about all of the computing, like I work in high performance computing at Purdue, right? So like, I mean, I'm familiar with the types of systems that are out there. I know what people are capable of. I know that fiber optic networks are used for all of this high frequency trading. Like, there is no excuse at this point for us to not have instant settlements on trades. And so every single regulation that is out there to give them a tool to kick the can further down the road is really just evidence of more and more crime being basically endorsed and, you know, put into canon. Because at this point, like, you know, like I would understand 20, 30 years ago there being a reason for there to be a settlement delay on things, because yeah, you got to have time to process your paperwork and to get the systems time to get caught up for everything. But like, no, like we can settle these trades instantly.
Well, settlement delay is a trading strategy.
It is. It absolutely is.
If you eliminate settlement delay, you break the system.
Mm-hmm.
The entire global economy will collapse.
Because they've been kicking the can for decades, and they are trying to hold up this house of cards with toothpicks at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't want anyone to mess it up. So yeah,
one day of settlement is all they got. Is all that's keeping us between complete failure, huh?
Yeah, like it reminds me of an old meme, like, just because I work in IT, of like, you've got this giant pyramid of all the systems holding your enterprise corporation's entire IT stack together, and at the very bottom of this thing is like some server from 1995 that someone has to manually maintain. Otherwise, the entire thing crashes. Like that's essentially like the market that we trade in.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to see. Okay. Well, Paul, I wanted to see what Ultimator, how's the chart looking for you, dude? Like, you seen anything?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Chart's going back up to 29, which is what I see as the gap to fill. It's still on the way there. Other than that,
fucking Rip City.
Nothing.
I don't know. So like, I don't know. We can talk about the warrants. I was wondering. Well, I don't know, Paulie. Do you have anything else before we kind of
we can move on?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think all that I really have left, because we don't have very much tinfoil this week at all. I
can give my thoughts on Kitty and my thought on GameStop and whatnot.
Yeah, please go for it.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about systemic risk and 2021 and how it still applies. So I think that's pretty important, because that's pretty much how I base most of what most of the charts and most of what I look at off of.
Mm-hmm.
So I base it off of a few theories. I don't use general like standard TA that everyone else does. I don't really use moving averages or fib retracements or whatever Paulie was talking about. I don't understand that very much. I look at how stuff interacts with other stuff, and how the regulations are formed around it. So in 2021, let me go back. So if a market participant goes under, they have a bunch of toxic assets like Archegos, and they have to offload those to somebody. So somebody has those toxic assets on their books, and they don't want to hold those, or they can't hold those, or it ruins their risk profile. So what they do is they take the risk off of themselves and they put it on other people. So in 2021, when GameStop went out of control, it blew up somebody, and somebody acquired that person or that institution that blew up. No, I don't know if we know who it was. They say it was Melvin Capital. Maybe it was Archegos. I don't know. But when it came on the books of somebody else, those were liabilities that had to be kind of spread out among everybody else. So what they did is they snuck those into all of their other products, like swaps. So it offloaded it to everybody else. So, like, for example, with silver, which I talk about a lot, back in 2011, with not Goldman, JP Morgan, they put all their silver derivatives into swaps. So if you look at any of the swaps that they do and the baskets that they do, there's silver derivatives hidden in there. So everyone who does a dealing with them is now kind of liable if silver goes out of control. Same thing happened with GameStop. So in 2021, in January, GameStop went out of control. So everything that was basketed with that, whoever failed, now is getting swapped as a short swap with whoever acquired them. Like, sorry,
UBS
did yeah. So Credit Suisse,
yeah.
So they went under. We don't know who actually acquired all the derivatives, but you can kind of see it in the charts. Like IWM started flatlining exactly at that point. Emerging markets started flatlining. The yen started flatlining. Everything started kind of going under. The SPY started like shooting upwards. But everything that started getting suppressed was likely part of whoever went under was holding. So someone else acquired it. They started, basking it into their swap products, and it's systemically suppressing everything. So when 2024 happened and Roaring Kitty purchased a fuckload of calls, if it was any other stock, the media wouldn't have said anything.
Right.
Or if it wasn't a problem, the media wouldn't have said anything. But it was, and it almost broke the system. And you can kind of see that in the currency charts, in pretty much everything. Everything inverted as soon as Roaring Kitty purchased all of his calls.
Right.
Because GameStop was such a systemic risk because it was input into the swaps for pretty much everybody since 2021, and it almost blew up the system again. GameStop, I guess they diluted a little bit. I don't know what happened exactly. I haven't looked into it too much, but
They diluted kind of like 33%. I think was a pretty good chunk, but they made fucking bank off that shit. So
I know.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So basically, what happened? So basically, what I'm saying is that GameStop is a systemic risk to everybody because everybody is counterparties to whoever is selling these swaps with GameStop in it. So whoever took on the risk of GameStop is now offloading that to everybody. So everybody is part of that risk.
Mm-hmm.
So I know this is kind of against your guys' theory, but I think that Roaring Kitty does not hold GameStop right now.
Bloody wanker.
And that is actually a huge issue for Wall Street because he has $500 million that he is willing to potentially put back in. So every time you see him tweet about, and it has any relation to anything, that something that he's tweeting about skyrockets because they're taking the risk that he's potentially in that. So if GameStop gets that again, and Roaring Kitty gets it and goes back into that, he could potentially blow back up the system.
Oh yeah, yeah. You've had that theory now about Kitty selling.
Yeah.
You've had it the whole time, so
Yeah.
You've stuck to your guns on that one. And you have some data that you think backs that up too as well, right? Do you think it happened before the Chewy buy? Is that correct?
So I think it happened on June 17th, which was, I guess, the day before Chewy. So you wait for the cash to settle, and then you buy Chewy, and it kind of lines perfectly. And you see the amount that goes into it. I don't think he had the amount to buy that much Chewy.
Well,
So it aligns with,
maybe
for me at least.
Yeah, maybe he did. I mean,
Maybe,
because like
but
it was about 250 million in Chewy, right?
yeah.
Yeah, it's about half
So
a bill.
if he still owns all the GameStop that he had, I don't think it's as dangerous if he had that much money sitting on the sidelines.
Yeah. It'd
And I
be
think
better
that's
for
kind of
him.
what Wall Street sees.
It'd be better for him to have the cash than the shares, is what you're saying for GameStop.
So it's incredibly dangerous for Wall Street right now.
I like that.
So if he does buy it is with as much as he does, and he has the amount of money, and he usually puts it into calls, which goes into institutional buying, that's a huge problem.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You just tied that back into what we were talking about at the beginning, where that's one place that he could actually impact is buying calls. He did it.
Yep.
He did it
And that's how he's done it every time he's done it.
Oh yeah.
It's through calls.
April.
And not only that, but now we also know that with the warrants being distributed, the OCC is going to have basically parallel chains. So
Oh yeah.
after October 3rd, there will be a GME and a GME1. So why would you need two of those? You're going to have the GME1 chain that will carry with it the obligation to deliver warrants. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, that someone wants to acquire a lot of options before October 3rd that will survive the distribution of the warrants, so they're still going to have those options after October 7th. So these could be calls for November, January, next December. Like they could be leaps. They could well, actually they couldn't be next December because they have to be before the warrants expire.
Oh, next October.
Yeah, in October. I'm not actually 100% sure. Like, because if you were to early exercise an option that was going to expire after the warrants expire, like, would you still be obligated to be delivered warrants? That I don't know. I would think that you would if you owned those before the dividend was issued. Yeah, that actually is something that I hadn't considered until about 10 seconds ago. So that's why it looks like I divided by 0. But in any event, so like you could just sort of go down that rabbit hole and have like a little bit of a thought experiment where if someone built a position in calls prior to the distribution of the warrants, and those calls now carry the obligation to deliver warrants, and you cannot manufacture warrants, like there's only going to be 59 million of them, that can be a problem for Wall Street, because the institutions are gonna wind up with 40% of the warrants, but they can't make any more than they have. Like, you can't have phantom warrants.
And we've seen a lot of
yeah.
brokers already say that they're not giving out warrants, right?
Right. Yeah. Like, some of them are going to do cash in lieu. I think this is mostly an issue with like international brokers. So it may not be like a huge issue, but that will be an issue.
So they're able to do cash instead of like a share. Like, I feel like they should at least have to provide a share.
No, they do cash for whatever the warrant is worth at the time it starts trading.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's going to be like $2.
Yeah.
Per warrant. And they did something similar with the Splivitin too, back in 2022.
Oh yeah.
There's always some weird loophole that they use.
Right.
Yeah. And it's always Europe, right? Fucking
right.
Europe.
Yeah. So like some of the international accounts may face some difficulties with their warrants, but from most of the reporting that I've seen, it seems that most folks who are in like a domestic account with a fairly standard like mainline broker, you're most likely going to receive warrants for one warrant for every 10 shares that you own.
I saw a Korean.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that Korean one was kind of weird. Like I was unable to confirm it.
Yeah. Well, it was just
weird.
The Korean ants are back again. Ultimator.
Right.
I don't know if you remember them, but they have like there's a lot in Korea. There's a lot of GME holders out there. They seem to be having a little bit of issue as well. So, what are your thoughts on the warrants, Ultimator? What do you think about them? You think they're gonna improve price action? What are your thoughts?
I'm interested in what BBBY did today. That's quite interesting.
Yeah.
They responded in kind with the exact same warrant to be distributed the day before.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I remember in 2022 when we did the stock split, AMC did the same thing, where they responded in kind with Ape, which is horrible.
Horrible.
I think that is part of a hedging issue, where if GameStop issues the warrants, it becomes a hedging nightmare for whatever swaps it's part of.
Yeah.
Right.
So if that new BBBY ticker is part of that, it's easiest for them to have their own warrant to counteract that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Other than that, I think it's just kind of a call option that doesn't have to get delta hedged, because it's going to be the company issuing the shares, right?
Yeah. Do you think 32 is... my feeling is that the company's going to want us to 32 pretty quick. I feel like RC wants the $1.9 billion. He likes his cash. So I have a feeling that like that's what ultimately he wants us to do, is he wants to get the price to 32. He wants us to exercise. But then my question is, what's he going to do with his 3.7 million warrants? And what is that going to do to the price? Is it, I don't know, well, it'll dump 3.7 million shares onto the market, right? Isn't that how that would happen?
They don't hit the market. They hit his account.
Yeah, but the flow gets bigger, right? Or
the total shares outstanding increases, but it doesn't.
They don't go to the market. Yeah, you're right.
It doesn't actually increase any market liquidity unless the new shares get sold. So if someone like Ryan Cohen is exercising warrants, I think that is a net bullish action. If institutions exercise warrants, that is something that like all they're doing is increasing their lending pool, right? So but I don't expect them to exercise warrants en masse, because they need warrants to hedge the options chain, because market makers will need to obtain warrants in the open market when options get exercised, because as of October 3rd, they're only going to be delta hedged for the options chain as of October 3rd. But after that, it's going to be a fluid thing. And so they're going to have to change their delta hedging on both GME and the GME1 options chain, which includes the acquisition and disposition of warrants, so that they can remain delta neutral. And so it's going to get a lot more complex for options dealers after October 3rd.
I thought you were gonna say complex for us. I was like, that was already complex, but yeah, I get you.
For us, like it's kind of the same thing as usual. But
yeah,
I like that Ultimator brought up Bed Bath & Beyond though, because I saw Roaring Pika had posted about that earlier today.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, BBBY, can I copy your homework, Jamie? Yeah, just change it so it doesn't look obvious. And so then, but then I was like, actually, like I think that GameStop actually is taking something from their playbook, but it wasn't Bed Bath & Beyond at the time. It was Overstock. And so
but they didn't do warrants. They did like some sort of weird dividend.
Yeah,
right?
they did a digital voting preferred stock, which was essentially an NFT dividend, but it was at a 1-to-10 ratio, the same ratio as we're seeing on our warrants. And they had originally announced it in July 2019, but then it got delayed, and then they reapproved it in April 2020. And so warrants are, they're a different instrument from a preferred stock, but there are some, let's say, similarities in the net effect on how the dividend gets distributed and the effect that it has on the underlying. And so just kind of bear with me here, because I ran some numbers on how the Overstock NFT dividend relates to the GameStop warrant dividend, and our record date of October 3rd falls on the 1986th day since the record date for the Overstock NFT dividend. And that's if you're including the end date in your calculation. So, it's like the N-1 calculation. So, Ryan Cohen and Keith Gill were both born in 1986. And 1986 is also a numeric anagram for 1896, which is the three ERC standard numbers added together. So you got your ERC 20, 721, which is where we get the 741 from. Those two added together, and then ERC 1155. So you add those three together, you get 1896. And then there's another anagram for 1968. The expected distribution date for our warrants is October 7th. And that is the 1968th day after the original dividend distribution date for Overstock. And it's the 741st day after Ryan Cohen became CEO. So all roads lead to 741. I don't make the rules. I just find the data. Like
maximum autism. I love
it. Where does the 741 originate?
So like there are I don't know if we can pinpoint the origin of it necessarily, but there are a lot of intersections for it, and one of them is that the ERC standards, two of the three ERC standards that are used in like smart contracts is ERC 20 and ERC 721. And so like you've got like ERC 20 would be like your wrapped Bitcoin and those types of instruments for those types of tokens. And then ERC 721 is like your NFTs, your non-fungible tokens. And then ERC 1155 is a type of smart contract that can actually wrap both of those into a single contract. So you can actually issue an ERC 20 and an ERC 721 type of token in a single efficient smart contract using the ERC 1155 standard.
Have you ever read the Castle of Glass DD? Is game.
Oh, I know
on-
it's come up before. I don't know if I've actually read it though.
Yeah. How about
I
you?
don't think I have.
Yeah, it's an old one. It's really good. I'll share it with you.
So,
It kind of breaks all that down.
So when I was really into doing Reddit before Twitter, whenever I posted a DD, people would report my posts to Reddit admins, and I'd always get this message like the day after saying someone reported you for being suicidal.
Oh my gosh.
Please call 741-741.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Every time I did a DD, I would get that response from Reddit,
Is it?
from like the
That's
Reddit admins.
interesting.
That is interesting. Is that like a phone number? What is 741-741? That's not even the
a
Reddit.
suicide hotline.
It's missing a digit. I guess.
Mhm.
Anyways. Yeah.
Maybe it's like a special number that you don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I got that probably a dozen times from Reddit.
Yeah, Reddit's fucked up, man. Like if they don't like
Yeah.
you, they just fucking hammer you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
So
though.
that's kind of
You
why
got the
I went
suicide
to Twitter.
hotline equivalent of swatted.
Yeah.
Yeah. I realized that Reddit is kind of an echo chamber. I know I'm saying that on this podcast.
How
But
dare you, sir? No, I get it.
you're talking to the same people and the same spam bots over and over again.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Twitter, you can kind of reach more people and you can kind of have more real interactions with people.
Yeah, you can reach different spam bots on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like in Super Stonk where I started, it's just it's the same handful of people over and over again.
Yeah, it seemed like so much bigger when because like I tried to do Reddit and like post on there. If you find my Reddit account, there's some posts. I did all right. It was back in the IMX days when we're tracking the wallets and all that shit. But man, it's like anything bullish, I would get called like option shill, right? Like that was the
Well, I mean that was one of the things. If you try and back anything that would potentially hurt Wall Street, you get huge pushback.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it's like it's really only a few people that can control that too. If the commenters are in early enough and they got enough people, like it just destroys a post immediately. I was talking about
how many upvote downvote bots you have.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And then I don't know. It got rough. There was a lot of shit that went on back in 2021. But yeah, so you like Twitter? Do you like Twitter better than Reddit? Because you're still kind of doing both.
I don't do Reddit as much anymore because I don't know. It's all just however many upvote bots you have.
Yeah.
So you really can't reach anyone new.
Yeah.
Especially in Super Song because Super Song doesn't appear anywhere.
You probably burnt.
So yeah, I like Twitter now.
You probably burnt that Super Stomp bridge with your DRS stuff too.
No.
No. we won't go into.
I get so much hate for that.
Oh, bro, I saw you post it. I was like, like, oh shit.
I mean, what caused 2021? I mean, options caused 2021.
Yep.
Right.
People buying it. If you remove the volatility, you give institutions a way out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like
telling people to just buy and hold for years on end is not going to help you. It's going to help Wall Street.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the one thing I like is knowing that there's 75 million. I don't know if that's the last count, but it's nice knowing that there's that many like retail shares being held. Like seeing that every quarter is nice.
It is.
So
it is, but the number hasn't really moved.
No.
It got locked in.
Right, which is what kind of calls into question the entire accounting of it, right?
Oh yeah.
Like why hasn't the number of direct registered shares increased over time? If we've still got people buying more and more shares, why don't we see that percentage?
Oh, we've kind of hit equilibrium.
Increasing? Right. Yeah. So, I think that it just is an interesting data point too, because I have some shares in DRS, but at the same time, I'm not going to put all my eggs in one basket.
Right.
I don't think that anybody should do that. And it's a tricky thing too, because like I think at the end of the day, we're all trying to just do the best we can with the information we've got. And so, I don't want to tell anybody that they're like categorically wrong or anything, but at the same time, it is concerning when you have people that are like almost militant about their fervor in how you should only have your shares held at Computershare. And it's like, have you ever actually tried to do anything with Computershare? Like,
Isn't there that popular saying that if you're in a video game and you see enemies, you're going the right way?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So when people start like yelling at you for having a different opinion than them,
right,
maybe look at it a little bit harder.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you missing?
Yeah. But like I love the concept of like having your shares directly registered in your name, like that I think is noble. Like I think that is something that everybody should want. But at the same time, like Computershare's a dinosaur, man.
But why? Yeah. Like, why did people invest in the first place? Like, why did they buy GameStop in the first place? Was it to have shares registered in your name and to, have an ownership of a company, or was it something else?
Right.
Yeah. Well, probably most people got in. Well, it depends on when you got in, right? Like, if you got in,
were you indoctrinated?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I don't know. It all started with trying to lock the float, right? Like I feel like that's what the ultimate goal was. We plateaued, like you said, we hit equilibrium. It was like 4 quarters there where there was zero movement. And it seemed like some fuckery on some cases. I feel like there was something having to do with the record date and fucking everything went wild. I'm vaguely remembering stuff like there was definitely some fuckery. But I feel like when RC added, all those shares in 2024, kind of put a halt on the whole lock in the float thing. That should have been a pretty good sign right there. So I will say it's impressive that they've managed to maintain the 75 million. Especially because like, that would have crushed my soul. I'm not DRS. I hold all my shares in Fidelity. I always have. Well, initially I had my shares in Robinhood, and then I transferred them out and have just been buying in Fidelity ever since.
I can't use the Robinhood UI.
Oh yeah?
So bad.
Oh, I love trading options on Robinhood.
It's so bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna get shit. I guess we get shit for Robinhood. I've seen Pauly get shit for it before, but
it's fun.
yeah, but I don't buy shares there at all ever. But I do trade options, and it's mainly because of their mobile. I think Fidelity's mobile for option trading is just miserable. Fucking, I can't do it, and I'm on the road all day long. I'm at work most of the time, so I got a YOLO. You know what I mean? Like you can't fucking YOLO.
I only use Fidelity because I have to for my retirement accounts.
Yeah, that they're just it's like old, like Active Trader Pro. It's got some good shit in it, but
I don't think that Fidelity has ever hired a software engineer who was born after 1932.
Yeah, it looks. Where do you trade, Ultimator? What app do you use? Thinkorswim?
I use several. My main is Weeble.
Weeble, okay. Yeah,
I think they have the best UI. Yeah.
Yeah. I like Weeble.
I started in Robinhood in 2020. I hated their UI. And I found Weeble.
Yeah.
Well, you can't look at charts very good in Robinhood at all, so
no, that's why.
Yeah, so you gotta.
I love the charts. I mean, as you guys probably know.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Is like Robinhood has done such a great job of gamifying their app, but I still I can't look at charts on the Robinhood app. Like, but they've done a nice job with their UI. Like I will hand it to them for that. But it's not a good charting app, at least not on mobile. Like their Legend
it doesn't give you enough information.
Yeah. Their Legend platform on desktop is making some really impressive strides. But on mobile, it's just it's garbage.
Yeah. I mean, I only ever use mobile, so I don't.
Yeah.
What if you have a good mobile app, I'll use it. I mean,
Mhm.
I don't use desktop because I don't really have a desktop.
Yeah.
Oh wow. TradingView. I use TradingView like mobile really well. I use TradingView desktop all day long if I'm at home. But like I do that because Webull has good data too. That's not a bad app,
Yeah.
honestly, because you get a lot of the data for free. Where I'm spending,
Yeah.
I don't know, like $30 a month just to get good pre-market data and shit. So
Yeah. TradingView could use better volume data.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
I think they want you to pay for that shit.
no, you can't. I mean, you can't even get it. I mean, unless you pay like hundreds of dollars a month.
Mhm.
I don't even see the dark pool blocks
Yeah.
come
Oh,
through
yeah,
on
yeah,
Dark.
TradingView.
Most dark pool
So
trades do not come through on
I can't
TradingView.
even. I can't do VWAPs. I can't do like half of the stuff I want to do if in volume.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because it's not. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta pay
Volume's fake.
$50. I gotta pay $50 a month to get it from fucking Unusual Whales. That's how I get my dark pool data. All right.
Yeah, I don't have that one.
Yeah, I like Flow. Do you watch Flow very much, or are you just kind of like just watching the chart and shit?
Just watch the chart.
Yeah, Flow's ever since April, because like if you manage to catch Kitty buying those 10s and 15s and shit back in April 2024, you did pretty.
Yeah, I
pretty
actually I did catch that one on April 24th.
Oh yeah, that's a good day, bro.
That was the day. Like I went all in on that day.
Nice.
I saw that happen. I'm like, this is gonna break the options chain.
Yeah,
And that's where he went in.
Yeah, he kept doing it too, and it was
Yeah.
awesome. I think that's what we're all kind of waiting to see.
And that's kind of my thought right now is that he has all that money just kind of sitting on the sideline waiting.
We're just trying to see.
It'd be more dangerous if he had that on the sideline than if he had it in GME right now.
Yeah, I agree. I like to think that he's, at least the cash, because he's a fucking weapon with that cash. I completely agree. I like to think that he's about to get 900,000 warrants and I don't know, whatever the fucking
I don't know
shit's going on with.
Hopefully we find out soon.
Yeah. I would venture a guess that he has been the counterparty to at least some of those large amounts of short puts that we've been seeing sold over the last several months.
Lots of those.
Yeah, it's a great way to collect premium, and then you don't care if you get assigned the shares. So
yeah, all those 125s and shit too early in the year, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm probably gonna kind of get out of here, do a little bit of announcements. You good with that, Paulie?
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. Okay. We've been here for a little while. You're a sick duck. I wanted to welcome Chef Jubies, Jubis. He joined the Discord today.
Great.
Yeah, he
awesome.
joined.
I didn't catch that. Welcome to the Discord, Chef.
Yeah. Who just
Chef's
made
good
it?
people.
Yeah, Alert Piano boosted the server. Thanks, Alert, bro. I appreciate
Nice.
that. Yeah, boosts are nice because emojis are very important.
They're a critical part of communication.
Yeah, they really are. They make me happy. I added someone to the 30s today too. Hold on, let me. Oh, Bad Robot. Bad Robot. Welcome to the 30s. He's got a cool little fucking gold symbol next to his name now. Yeah.
It's exciting.
Yeah, I know. I think so. I like ranking people up in that place. You're in the 20s, Ultimator.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got the purple color.
The rookie numbers, Ultimator. You gotta
I love it. Like Chef actually came in today and was very pleased that Ultimator is part of the Discord.
I did see that.
Yeah, that's cool.
You got a fan club, man.
Yeah. Well, he for sure does. Like.
Oh yeah.
I've watched you join Twitter and grow very nicely.
I guess some people like my bullshit.
Yeah, I think people they like your bullshit, but I also think that they like what you're not out there trying to make a buck off people. I think a lot.
I don't just blindly follow stuff. I guess I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. No, I know. There's been some times you've come in the Discord and I've seen you typing. And I'm like, fuck. What's he about to tell us?
Yeah.
It's
If I
about
don't
to get
agree with it, I'll call
real.
it out. I won't shit talk you, but I'll call it out.
Yeah, no. Sometimes it's not what I want to see. I need my confirmation bias. I see him typing. I'm like,
Yeah.
we might be about to top, guys.
Don't talk about AMC. I'll shit talk that all day.
Oh yeah,
Oh well.
Yeah.
I think we're okay with that.
yeah. We're all okay with that. We get down on BBBY too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. All right, Paul. You got anything before we get out of here?
No, man. Like, I'm just happy to be here, and let's enjoy the ride, man.
Yeah. Let's do it. Ultimator, you got anything before we get out of here?
Oh,
All right. Well, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming out to the show.
yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. We'll see you guys next time.
Yeah. Take care.
All the crooked hedge funds meet, all the big dogs on Wall Street. The SEC gets on the line. Stop the buying, we'll say we're blind.